that. Bruh.
It's good, Twitch. And y'all and then again 4.9 in South Sandwich Islands, and then a 2.7, a 3.8, a 3.2, and a 3.0, all earthquakes in Puerto Rico. Yet again. And
And then you got a 3.8 in Cali, a 3.4 in Dominican Republic, a 4.6 in
yeah,
Mexico, um, uh, 5.4 in Japan, a 3.0, a 3.5 in Puerto Rico. So that's Puerto Rico again, a 4.6 in Fiji, a 4.9 in Taiwan, a 2.8 in Puerto Rico, a 4.4 in Argentina, 3.2 in Puerto Rico, 6.3 in New Zealand, 5.5 in New Zealand after 19 minutes later, and then a 3.0 in Puerto Rico again, 2.5 in Oklahoma, 2.5 in Puerto Rico, a 2.8 in Hawaii, a 4.8 in the South Sandwich Islands, again, a 4.4 in Chile, a 4.1 in Mexico, a 2.9, a 2.8 in Oklahoma, and then a 2.9 in Puerto Rico. Well, I'm glad I got most of that news away before that other stream, for my other stream popped off. That is some sad stuff. And now I gotta figure out. That is sad. I hate when it does that stuff, man. I swear to God, I hate it. Pisses me off. I got to edit all that stuff, man. I'ma just say F it, dog, and put it up there. Put two of them up there on YouTube. And y'all on YouTube, man, hit that subscribe button, bro. The stuff's reconnecting and twisting out. Hit that subscribe button if you ain't hit it already. And that's YouTube. Um, oh yeah, I want to play that short video about the UFO threats and stuff like that. That UFO threat. Let me play that. I'm gonna just play it real quick. That's gonna be a little break. A cool off. That pisses me off, man. I'm over there streaming, doing good, broadcasting the news, and then you gonna end my stuff. You gonna cut out my connection. That's crazy, man. Crazy. That's how you know they don't want the word to get out there. Let's see. Reagan's UFO alien threat speech. Yeah, we just want the short version. Give me a second, guys. Get the short version up. believe this is it.
Distinguished delegates, half a world away from this place of peace, the firing, the killing, the bloodshed in two merciless conflicts have for the first time in recent memory diminished after adding terrible new names to the roll call of human horror. Names such as Halabja, Medushar, Inshar, and Spinbuldak. There is today hope of peace in the Persian Gulf and Afghanistan. So too in the highlands and coastal cities of southern
I
Africa,
think this is it.
places of civil war, places of occupation by foreign troops. Talk of peace is heard. For the first time, the differences between East and West, fundamental differences over important moral questions dealing with the worth of the individual
Oh, it is.
and whether governments shall control people
Listen to this,
or
bro.
people control governments. For the first time, these differences have shown signs of
About
easing.
the UFOs.
Easing to the point
This
where
is
there
Ronald
are
Reagan
not just
talking about this
troop
stuff.
withdrawals from places like Afghanistan, but also talk in the East of reform and greater freedom of press, of assembly, and of religion. Yes, fundamental differences remain. But should talk of reform become more than that, should it become reality, there is the prospect of not only a new era in Soviet-American relations, but a new age of world peace.
New
For
age,
such reform can bring peace. History teaches, and my country has always believed, that where the rights of the individual and the people are enshrined, war is a distant prospect. For it is not people who make war. Only governments do that. I stand at this podium then in a moment of hope. Hope not just for the peoples of the United States or the Soviet Union, but for all the peoples of the world. And hope, too, for the dream of peace among nations, the dream that began the United Nations. Precisely because of these changes, today the United Nations has the opportunity to live and breathe and work as never before.
Drop my stuff.
Already, you, Mr. General Secretary, Secretary General, through your persistence, patience, and unyielding will, have shown in working toward peace in Afghanistan and the Persian Gulf how valuable the United Nations can be. And we salute you for these accomplishments. And in Geneva at this very hour, there are numerous negotiations underway. Multilateral negotiations at the Conference of Disarmament, as well as bilateral negotiations on a range of issues between the Soviets and ourselves. And these negotiations, some of them under UN auspices, involve a broad arms control agenda, strategic offensive weapons, and space, nuclear testing, and chemical warfare, whose urgency we have witnessed anew in recent days. And Mr. Secretary General, the negotiators are busy, and over the last few years they've been engaged in more than an academic exercise. There is movement. The logjam is broken. Only recently, when the United States and the Soviet Union signed the INF agreement, an entire class of U.S. and Soviet nuclear missiles was eliminated for the first time in history. Progress continues on negotiations to reduce in massive number strategic weapons with effective verification. And talks will begin soon on conventional reductions in Europe. Much of the reason for all of this goes back, I believe, to Geneva itself, to the small chateau along the lake where I and the General Secretary of the Soviet Union had the first of several fireside chats, exchanges characterized by frankness, but friendliness too. I said at the first meeting in Geneva that this was a unique encounter between two people who had the power to start World War III or to begin a new age of peace among nations. And I also said, peace conferences, arms negotiations, proposals for treaties could make sense only if they were part of a wider context, a context that sought to explore and resolve the deeper underlying differences between us. I said to Mr. Gorbachev then, as I have said to you before, nations do not mistrust each other because they're armed. They are armed because they mistrust each other. And in that place, by that peaceful lake in neutral Switzerland, Mr. Gorbachev and I did begin a new relationship based not just on engagement over the single issue of arms control, but on a broader agenda about our deeper differences, an agenda of human rights, regional conflicts, and bilateral exchanges between our peoples. Even on the arms control issue itself,
Let's get into the good part.
we agreed to go beyond the past, to seek not just treaties that permit building weapons to higher levels, but revolutionary agreements that actually reduced and even eliminated a whole class of nuclear weapons. What was begun that morning in Geneva has shown results. In the INF Treaty, my recent visit to Moscow, in my opportunity to meet there with Soviet citizens and dissidents and speak of human rights, and to speak, too, in the Lenin Hills of Moscow to the young people of the Soviet Union about the wonder and splendor of human freedom. The results of that morning in Geneva are seen in peace conferences now underway around the world on regional conflicts, and in the work of the UN here in New York, as well as in Geneva. But Mr. Secretary General, history teaches caution. Indeed, that very building in Geneva where important negotiations have taken place, the Geneva Accords on Afghanistan, the Iran-Iraq negotiations, for example, we see it today as stone-like testimony to a failed dream of peace in another time. The Palais des Nations was the headquarters of the League of Nations, an institution that was to symbolize an end to all war. And yet today, that institution and its noble purpose ended with the Second World War. Ended because the chance for peace was not seized in the 1930s by the nations of the world. Ended because humanity did not find the courage to isolate the aggressors, to reject schemes of government that serve the state, not the people.
Right now.
We're here today, Mr. Secretary General, determined that no such fate shall befall the United Nations. We're determined that the UN should succeed and serve the cause of peace for humankind. So, Mr. Secretary General, we realize that even in this time of hope, the chance of failure is real. But this knowledge does not discourage us. It spurs us on, for the stakes are high. Do we falter and fail now and bring down upon ourselves the just anger of future generations? Or do we continue the work of the founders of this institution and see to it that at last freedom is enshrined and humanity knows war no longer, and that this place, this floor, shall be truly the world's last battlefield? We are determined it shall be so. So we turn now to the agenda of peace.
That's not the one, bro. Oh my God, we listened to that whole thing and wasn't even the one.
Thank you all very much. Good morning and welcome to the White House. Opportunities for us as we develop the frontiers of space. I'm often accused of being an optimist, and I plead guilty. That the space age is barely a quarter of a century old. Right about it. The stories won't be science fiction.
Let's see.
They'll be stories of accomplishment. By accepting that Tony will lead to a better America and a better life for all your people. And money to some of our productive industry. I've been told I have to get out of here.
Man, they must have removed that one.
So, may surprise.
Look. All right, I got you. Hold on. Let me mute my speaker real quick and find it. Here it is.
An alien threat from outside this world. And yet
The Luciferians have
Oh
been
no,
acting
no.
to make us recognize this we need
here it is.
with antagonisms of the
Here it
moment.
is, right here.
We often forget how much unites all the members of
This is the
humanity.
important part.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples
Throws it
than
in your
war
face.
and our obsession with antagonisms of the moment?
Throws it in
We
your
often forget how
face.
much unites
Listen to this.
all antagonism already among us. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and our obsession with antagonisms of the moment? We often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
What's that telling you? Man said, is it not something? Y'all heard it, bro. Y'all heard it, bro. And they've been among us for years, bro. They've been among us for years, man. We've been spreading the word about these aliens for years. Just the people ain't been listening. They ain't been listening. But today I call on you to listen, man. For real. Listen to this. And I'm spreading the word. I'm letting y'all know this great deception is coming upon the earth, and they saying lies and stuff like that to try to trick you and stuff and whatnot. I mean, I'm gonna go deeper into it because we got some breaking news tonight. That's I'm gonna reveal here in a moment, and it's basically telling you what the deal is. But I just want to add my little 2 cents to it. You know what I'm saying? That these fallen angels, these fallen ones, these demonic entities, whatever you want to call them, they're disguised as aliens to fool the masses, to basically lie to you, to give you a deception, to give you a deceit, to give you a delusion, to believing that the aliens, the fallen ones, the fallen angels, the demonic entities, whatever you want to call it, it's all meaning the same thing. Basically, that they're terrible people, terrible, whatever they are. They're disguised and they're bringing a great deception. And they're saying, even if they could, get the elect, like the people like that believe in Jesus Christ, that are born again, that are saved and baptized, even the elect, if possible, to be deceived. And basically what I mean by that is they're saying, if you go on ancient aliens right now, they're putting it on the television, Hollywood. They're putting it on the television saying that they changed our DNAs, that they altered our DNAs, that they created Jesus Christ, And that right there is going to tell you that it's a great deception, man. We know who created us. God did. The Heavenly Father. You know what I'm saying? Look at Adam and Eve. And then you wanna, you look at me, look at my mother, my father, your mother, your father. Now look at the ancestors and the ancestors and the ancestors and the ancestors and the offspring and the offspring. And it'll come back to Adam and Eve. God created us. You know what I'm saying? But these aliens, these demonic entities, these deceitful liars, these delusionists, this is exactly what I'm saying. It's a great deception. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is, man. You can take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? These aliens that's gonna be coming upon us. This or whatever. The UFO, the closure, the with the administration saying this and that, Hollywood is saying this and that. There needs to be a word that needs to be said in the churches. Everybody needs to hear it. Everybody needs to hear the truth. Because if you don't, you're going to be deceived. Simple as that. It's sad to say, it's unfortunate, but it's going to happen. So please don't be the one that's going to be deceived. That's all I'm saying. Don't be the one that's going to be, tricked. That's going to be caught in that trap. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm here warning y'all. This is why the church need to be saying something about it. This is why everybody needs to be saying something about it. Because I don't want to see y'all trapped. I don't want to see you get deceived. I don't want to see you get lied to. I'm going to give you the truth. You ain't going to hear it on the television. You ain't going to hear it on there, bro. They ain't going to tell you the truth. You feel me? They going to say some made up stuff that basically it's levels to it. They gonna get the word from the top dog. The top dog is gonna spread it out to the people these rich people and stuff like that control the media and stuff. And then boom, the media is gonna get a hold of the message, and then they gonna spread it out to the masses, and they gonna fool you. You know what I'm saying? And that's their plan. You know. And I'm not calling y'all no fools. I'm not saying that they're fools because I'll be damning myself to hell. But I'm just saying, and that's in Matthew's. You can read all about it. Um, and that's a different story. But I'm saying, please just don't be deceived, man. Don't be deceived. Don't be tricked because they didn't create Jesus Christ. They didn't alter our DNAs. That is baloney. You know what I'm saying? In other words, the UK said it's rubbish. It's rubbish. It's bollocks. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense. God created us. You know what I'm saying? And Adam and Eve is our offspring, basically. And the first two people that were created was Adam and Eve in the garden. So don't be fooled, guys. Don't you know what I'm saying? Don't be tricked. Don't fall in that deceit. Don't fall in that lie. Seek out the truth. That's the best I can tell you. But yeah, let's continue the news. So today we got they're talking about something about Iran sending warships to sell to Venezuela, and they saying leave Iran alone, quote unquote. And on August the 3rd, a new Iran president, which is the one we talked about, Rashid or Ibrahim or Rashid, whatever his name is, aka the Busher, aka the one that wants to destroy Israel, God's time, place, aka the guy that got sanctions. Iran got sanctions on them because of um human. Let's see what it says. Something about something I said earlier, because of crimes against humanity, which is Habib Rashid. They call him the Busher because he hung people, he tortured people, and he killed like hundreds of people, man, up to the thousands. And they got this man running for president in Iran. This dude's the new Saddam Hussein. You know what I'm saying? Basically, whatever that dude's name was, you know. And he's the most radical leader in the history of the world. And they pinned this man as president in Iran, and they taking out the anti missiles that the U.S. placed in Israel and the Middle East to help them out, I guess, from like terroristic acts and stuff like that. I'm guessing. And and then you got Biden over there trying to seek out the nuke deal with him, Iran, which doesn't make any sense. And then, and on the other hand, you got the Israel new Prime Minister Bennett. He's not having it. He's telling the people to wake up. He's like, man, what y'all doing? You know. And then plus, he don't agree with the two-state solution on Israel, which is a good thing. Bennett is doing good, man. Bennett is doing good, 100%. But you got the Biden administration. Biden's always getting in some dirt, ain't he? For real. This is not a good president at all, if you ask me. Simple as that. We need. I ain't gonna say his name, but y'all know who we need. We need good old, yeah, that was up there. But man, that is nuts, bro. That is insane. And then you got the Biden administration, the Washington Post and the Jerusalem Post talking about sharply reducing several number of U.S. anti-missile systems, talking about a major realignment, and this affects the Middle East, but they're really focusing on Israel. If you ask me, they do not like God's time place. They don't like God. If you look at it like that, you know what I'm saying, in a religious view. But it affects Iraq, Kuwait, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. And that is insane to me that they're doing that. Just say it. Trump. We need Trump up there. For real, bro. We need Trump up there, man. Old sleepy Biden ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing but sending our troops to Ukraine, and they over there, they should be sending our troops back to the United States where they can rest and have fun with their families, and they ain't even doing that. He's getting himself into trouble left and right, man. He ain't even getting the borders right. He's not getting he's not working with Israel, and Trump did that. Trump had the borders controlled. Trump had good relations with Israel and Russia. Like, what's going on with Sleepy Biden, bro? It's crazy. It is crazy out there, man. It's crazy. It is getting crazy. Insane, man. But now we got this guy that is AKA the Busher, the new president of Iran, and he's, you know, saying that he hates Israel, he wants to destroy it. So, man, shake my head. But anyway, they're saying it's the best of its intentions for Iran to unload their weapons to Venezuela, but yet they don't have permission to stop them. I'm talking about United States. We don't got permission to stop Iran from docking their boats and unloading weapons to Venezuela, and they're in our hemisphere. It's getting nuts out there, guys. It's very strange indeed. Very strange. And then on top of that, you got UFOs that shut down the 10 USA nuke missiles. And this is reports from Congress and the Pentagon, basically, that Congress are. I'm gonna go deeper into it later, but I'm coming back to a UFO and the alien stuff. Congressmen are starting slowly but surely leaking and creeping out the talks about how the aliens are coming and stuff like that. And same for Hollywood. They're doing the same thing on with these movies, television shows, and whatnot. And and they're saying that the aliens came to shut it down and to show them, I guess, their might, their powers and stuff. I don't know, but let's remember now. These aliens are disguised by fallen angels, aka demonic entities, or whatever you want to call them. They're bad. Let's just call them they're bad people. Okay, they're bad things, bad beings, or whatever, and they're disguised as aliens. All right, don't be lied to. Don't fall in that trap. Don't be deceived, and don't be tricked. Okay, and they're talking about how they're making different how they made us and they made Jesus Christ. It's nonsense. Nonsense. It's nonsense. Um and with the nukes and stuff, like shutting down the nukes, is they shut them down like basically like we won't launching anything. Don't get me wrong now. We won't launching nothing. I don't want to start no dang on World War III here with nukes and stuff. They won't launch no nukes, guys. All right, they won't launch no nukes. But they're saying that the basically, let me go down to the bottom of it, to the bottom, and then I'll just make my way up. So Officer Silas claims that they move to the no-go setting, the missiles or nukes or whatever, and you can't even do that with one person. You know what I'm saying? It takes several people because they got to encrypt the code into the things to do to even launch it or to do a no go setting. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, it's that is crazy. But that's what I mean by the UFO shut down the 10 USA nuke missiles. You know what I'm saying? So I guess they I don't know what went down. I didn't get any more information from that, but yeah, it was linked by the Congress and Pentagon. You can probably look this stuff up. So everything I'm saying, you can look it up. Promise you. Um let's see. It was at a US military base, by the way. And I think it's a part of their game. It's a part of their thing. You know what I'm saying? With the UFOs, the aliens, and all that. It's a part of, like, for example, with the little by little leaking it out, because you got the government doing their narrative. You got Hollywood doing their narrative, but you know what's funny? The church ain't doing their narrative, man. And I'm here today to tell y'all that y'all need to spread the word to tell people that not to be deceived, man. Not to be deceived by these aliens, by these demonic entities, whatever you want to call them. They're bad. Okay, it's a no go. Don't do it. Don't believe into them. Don't fall into their tricks, because they are gonna be deceiving people. Okay, because some people are just not woke to it. They're not. They don't really, because, you got some people that just go to work every day and they're not paying attention, and they rather look at sports or some on the television all day, and and what can you do? You know what I'm saying? You got people that's been spreading the word for years about these Illuminati's and Freemasons and all that, and these Satanists, and you know, but some people are being woke to that, but and that's a good thing. But it needs to be spreaded out more. It needs to, like a wildfire. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we need to let the people know, and that there's a great deception coming upon the earth for sure. Whew, man, talking about some news, man. Holy cow. Oh yeah, and I got some hit, and that's for the YouTubers, man, all right? And if you want to see the rest, come over to my Twitch. Type it in on Google, type in Twitch, TrippyyLit with 2 Y's, and you'll hear the rest. I'm about to play it right